Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. YouTube, what's going on, man? What's up with y'all? Hope y'all doing well. It's the one and only Jerry the Analyst. Another post game reaction for me. Trying to do. I was gonna do one for the Heat and the Lakers, but the Heat and the Lakers and the Nuggets, but that one was kind of, I just I didn't feel like that was as close as this series right here. But yeah, and then my finals preview is gonna be out later on. I'll probably get it out uh more than likely by I could probably get out tomorrow. Yeah, I'll probably get out tomorrow. Anywho, though, I definitely wanted to give a post game reaction and kind of just a recap of this series between the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat. Um, yeah, man. So obviously, Miami started off the series amazing. Went up 3-0. Amazing play from Jimmy Butler, Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, Caleb Martin, Duncan Robinson. Everybody was pitching in and doing their thing. And yeah, after game three, it just looked like it was cooked. It looked like it was rats for Boston. But yeah, I mean, Boston just was able to come back, take game four. Then game five, both game four and game five, Boston played amazing, shot amazing from three. And then game six happened, and my both teams really struggled. Miami, Jimmy and Bam were just very, very tough, very tough. And I was kind of not shocked, but I just like the way Boston was able to defend Jimmy and just put some length on him and kind of close in on him and double him and really make him second guess himself to the point where he was very apprehensive offensively. And although the others played great in game six, Caleb Martin, who was phenomenal the entire series, Gabe Vincent, other people played great. Jimmy and Bam really struggled, and although they did pick it up in the fourth quarter, by that time it was like really should have had the game down packed. But still, ended up losing on a buzzer beater to Caleb to Derek White, excuse me. But yeah. Now we get to Game Seven. It just passed, and um, this Boston really struggled, man. Now, obviously, I want to acknowledge that Tatum did get hurt at the beginning of the game, rolled his ankle on the first play of the game. Um, and yeah, definitely just an unfortunate turn of events for the Celtics. But even with him getting hurt and still being able to play, it just was very, very tough for the Celtics. Yeah, that zone defense was just giving them all type of issues. Miami did an amazing job of closing in on the drives, not allowing Boston to just get to wherever they wanted on the floor. Great rotations on the kick out, the drive and kick, and just great rim protection by Bam. And yeah, just Jaylen Brown just struggled mightily the entire series. If I'm not mistaken, he only had about one or two good games that I can remember. But yeah, Jaylen Brown struggled mightily this series. If I'm not mistaken, I saw a stat he shot 16% from three this series. Um, had the I think he led the playoff in turnovers as well. Um, yeah, and if y'all know, January I made a video titled "How I Thought the Celtics Were Gonna Get Back to the NBA Finals and Win the Championship this year." But yeah, it's just too little, too late from Boston. I think with everything that was going on in terms of just them trying to come back from this deficit, and even how they were in the weird position where they were the higher seed and trying to come back rather than the lower seed trying to come back. I thought a lot of people thought there may have been a chance there, but you just see that you can't allow a team like Miami to gain that momentum, and especially when you have an offense that's so heavily predicated on making threes, which has been such uh, a talking point about this team, is that they just rely so much on knocking down 3-point shots. And when you have such I won't say streaky shooters, but you have a team that's not really made up of good enough playmakers to get your team better shots than a marginally contested three. And if you're not shooting the 3 point shot at a high enough clip, you're not able to win games. You know, that's very problematic. And then on the other end, they just weren't able to get stops. So I mean, yeah, I think definitely with Boston, it's just I think there's some very specific questions that they need answered this offseason. Um, I'm really looking at Jalen Brown. Um, yeah, because I'm seeing it right now on TNT that he's going to be on a contract year next year. Um, I'm really thinking about what I'm going to be doing with Jalen Brown. Especially because just him trying to complement Tatum, it just doesn't look like those two are really the best fit for each other. And there's been this long running trope that those two can't seem to play a good game at the same time. You know what I'm saying? They just somehow, some way, one of them will have a good game and the other is just off, or both of them just can't seem to get anything to fall. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I would seriously consider what my next move would be with Jalen Brown if I'm Brad Stevens. Um, and even just thinking too about what Boston did in order to keep this team together. I mean, obviously we know back in 2019, both Jimmy Butler and Anthony Davis were on the table, and Jason Tatum was involved in those talks, and yet Boston decided not to trade. They decided to keep Tatum. Um, then this past year, Kevin Durant was on the table, and allegedly Jalen Brown was being thrown around for Kevin Durant, but Boston was still also unable or unwilling to make the trade. So now we have to really question ourselves and think, well, when are these two going to figure it out? When are they going to get it together? And I mean, granted, they're still a young duo. They still have a lot of time left to figure out how to make this work. But, you definitely don't want to waste your years, your prime years on a duo or a team that's only has a certain peak and only has a certain ceiling. And again, I think this ceiling is definitely higher than most, which is why people were so optimistic on this team, including myself. But obviously, we saw it last year as well when they start running into defenses that know how to limit their 3 point shots and really force them into taking tough twos and force them to make quick decisions. We see that they struggle. Marcus Smart, as much as he has improved as a playmaker and a facilitator, he's just not. If Marcus Smart is your best facilitator on the team, then there's definitely an issue. There's definitely an issue out there. Jalen Brown again cannot play make to save his life. I mean, I'm watching this man drive the ball, lose the ball, drive, fall down, drive, jump in the air, turn the ball over. It's just very frustrating to watch how much he struggles in terms of just trying to create plays for his teammates and create open looks for his teammates. Um, so yeah, I mean that's definitely what I feel like on the Boston side, and even too, I don't want to make this all about Boston. Definitely want to give credit to the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler, Bam, Eric Spoelstra especially, Caleb Martin, Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson. This team just made up of a bunch of guys, and just made up of a collective unit that was not looked at as any sort of threat in the East. And even when they beat Milwaukee, there were still questions about, would they beat the Knicks? You know what I'm saying? Would they beat the Celtics? And they have continued to show time and time again that they are, they are, they are one of the most well-ran organizations in the NBA over the past couple of seasons. And I just have to give credit to that team, just how they've handled and shown that, sticking to your guns and playing a very disciplined and a style of basketball that's not flashy but effective, and how far that can get you. But I definitely do want to make a video about Miami because I mean this is the second time in the past 4 seasons that this team has made the NBA Finals. This is the third time in the past 4 seasons that they've made the conference finals at least. And I definitely want to make a video just talking about, man, is this team really that good? Because I mean, you don't just happen to walk into two NBA finals and you're not, one of the best teams in the NBA. But it seems like no matter what this seed is, or what seed this team is, or who's hurt, who's not hurt, they always find a way to make it happen. And I just have to give so much props to that entire organization. And just again, we see another team that did not tank in order to acquire the assets that they have and build the team that they have constructed. This has been just great drafting, great player development, great trades, being able to make this team, and they have a legitimate shot at winning a championship. So, but yeah, also my finals preview, like I said, will be coming out soon, probably tomorrow. But yeah, that's kind of my initial thoughts on the series. I didn't want to make this too long, not as long as my Sixers recap, obviously, because there was just a lot more going on with that series. But I definitely wanted to just give my insights on this series, especially Boston, and moving forward. I'll probably make a more in-depth video about just off-season moves that I think should be made by not just the Boston Celtics but everybody, and just them moving forward. But yeah, shout out to the Miami Heat. Shout out to both the Celtics and the Heat. Phenomenal series. I'm looking forward to the finals. Heat and Nuggets. Just two teams looking to establish themselves with this core that they have, and somebody's going to be winning their first championship. Whether it's Jimmy Butler, Bam, Jokic, Jamal Murray, somebody's going to be winning their first championship. So, but yeah, y'all. So that's all I got for y'all today. Just wanted to give my thoughts, spit. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man. So hope y'all doing well. Y'all staying safe. And yeah, like I said, I'm definitely gonna try to get my finals predictions out probably tomorrow or Wednesday, and yeah, at least before the finals happen. But yeah, until then, thank y'all for tuning in and watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Y'all know the vibes, man. And yeah, until then, peace.